Welcome to Wisdom Tales Daily, where we explore the depths of the human mind to find true peace in chaos. In our modern world, we are surrounded by abundance and technology, yet we often feel an overwhelming sense of isolation. We have created tools to connect us instantly, but somehow these very tools have left us feeling more disconnected than ever. You might have a comfortable home and a stable job, yet a persistent feeling of stress and emptiness lingers inside. This creates a paradox where our external lives look perfect, but our internal landscapes are cluttered with noise and confusion. We constantly ask ourselves why we feel this way, searching for answers in the very places that cause our distress. To understand this modern struggle, we must look at how our minds handle the endless stream of demands and information. Imagine your mind is like a performer on a stage, constantly trying to maintain balance while the world throws objects. Let us consider the principle of juggling to explain why your brain feels like it is about to short-circuit. When you have just one ball to throw and catch, the task is simple, manageable, and even quite enjoyable. You can handle a few responsibilities, like work and family, keeping them in the air with a steady, rhythmic flow. But what happens when life throws 10 balls at you simultaneously, demanding that you keep every single one in motion? This is exactly what happens to your mind when you try to process every notification, worry, and task at once. The balls drop, not because you are weak, but because the system is overloaded beyond its natural capacity for processing. Each ball represents a problem, a memory, or a fear that you are desperately trying to control and resolve. We believe that if we just think harder and faster, we can solve all these issues and finally find peace. But the modern world does not stop throwing balls. It adds more every single day through screens and endless demands. Your mind becomes like this cup, overflowing with information until you can no longer distinguish between what is important and noise. We confuse having many options with having freedom, but often too many choices simply lead to paralysis and anxiety. You keep running faster, thinking the finish line is just ahead, but the treadmill of life just keeps speeding up. The more you struggle to untangle the knots in your mind with force, the tighter and more painful they become. This pressure manifests physically, sitting on your chest like a heavy weight that refuses to lift no matter what. We have lost our connection to the natural rhythm of life, replacing silence with the constant roar of mental machinery. Loneliness strikes deepest not when we are alone, but when we are surrounded by people yet feel completely unseen. That glowing screen is a portal to the world, but it is also a wall that separates you from yourself. We are teaching our brains that constant stimulation is normal, and that silence is something to be feared and avoided. Your neurons are firing in a constant state of emergency, reacting to threats that do not actually exist physically. Insomnia becomes a common companion because the mind does not know how to switch off the many balls mode. We operate on low battery every single day, draining our reserves without ever plugging into the source of recharge. This mental fog makes it impossible to make clear decisions, leading to further anxiety about the future and your path. But there is a way out of this chaos, a method to return to the stillness that resides within you. We call this method the vital silence, a practice that is essential for the survival of your mental health. The proposal is simple yet challenging. Dedicate 20 to 30 minutes every day to absolutely nothing but sitting still. This means a complete disconnection from all electronic devices, removing the external sources of noise and constant demand. It is not meditation in the traditional sense, but a deliberate pause to step off the speeding treadmill of life. In this silence, you are not trying to solve problems or plan your day. You are simply existing. At first, the silence will feel uncomfortable, loud, and perhaps even terrifying as your brain craves its usual stimulation. Your mind will jump around like a wild monkey, throwing memories and fears at you to get your attention. The key is to remain seated and observe this chaos without participating in it or trying to control it. This brings us to the core technique of this practice: emotional observation, the art of watching without judging. Imagine your thoughts are clouds passing through the sky. The sky does not fight the clouds, it allows them. When a scary thought or a painful memory arises, do not push it away or try to analyze it. Simply acknowledge its presence, say hello to it, and let it be there without giving it your energy. Do not jump into the river of your thoughts to swim. Stay on the bank and watch the water flow. Even if the face of someone you hate appears, observe the anger rising in you without becoming the anger. Emotions are like fire. They need the fuel of your reaction and engagement to keep burning and growing stronger. By withdrawing your participation, you starve the negative emotions of the energy they need to survive and torment you. The internal war only continues as long as you keep fighting back. Peace comes when you drop your weapons. This creates a space for healing, where you stop being your own enemy and start becoming your own observer. From the mud of your confused thoughts, the flower of clarity begins to bloom when given the space of silence. This vital silence is not a waste of time. It is the most productive thing you can do for yourself. It allows the overheated gears of your mind to cool down, resetting your system for better functionality later. When you open your eyes after this session, the world will look different, sharper, and less threatening to you. You begin to notice the small beauties of life that were previously drowned out by the noise in your head. The compulsion to constantly check your phone begins to fade, replaced by a genuine presence in the real world. You realize you do not have to juggle every ball. You can choose which ones to pick up and play. Journaling after your silence can help solidify these observations, turning vague feelings into concrete understanding. The storms of life will still come, but you will no longer be the leaf blown helplessly by the wind. You become the mountain, grounded and stable, watching the weather of your emotions change without being moved by it. We often think we need to win arguments, even with ourselves, to prove we are right and worthy. But the core message is this: do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? Happiness comes when you stop defending your ego and start accepting the present moment exactly as it is. Clarity is not achieved by analyzing the muddy water. It is achieved by letting the water settle on its own. This practice of observation creates a gap between the stimulus and your reaction, giving you the power of choice. In that gap, you can choose to respond with wisdom and kindness rather than reacting with habit and fear. You break the chains of automatic behavior that have dictated your stress and anxiety for so many years. Your perspective shifts from being trapped in the maze to looking at the maze from high above. The problems that seemed like giants are revealed to be merely shadows when you shine the light of awareness. This peace is not something you have to go out and buy or achieve. It is already within you. It has simply been buried under the debris of excessive thinking and the constant noise of modern life. By reclaiming your time for silence, you are excavating this treasure and reclaiming your right to a peaceful life. You stop spending your energy on internal arguments that have no winners, only exhausted participants. You make peace with your past, not by fixing it, but by acknowledging it and letting it rest. The future becomes a blank page of possibility rather than a script written by your anxieties and fears. Walk through your life with a lighter step, knowing that you do not have to carry the world. When you are not consumed by your own internal noise, you have space to be kind to others. Your peace becomes contagious, positively affecting your family, your colleagues, and everyone you come into contact with. Relationships deepen when you are fully present, listening to understand rather than listening to reply. Work becomes less stressful and more efficient because you are doing one thing at a time with full attention. The fragmented pieces of your life start to come together into a coherent and meaningful whole. You become your own lighthouse, guiding yourself through the dark moments with the light of your own awareness. You accept the impermanence of feelings. Happiness comes and goes, sadness comes and goes, and that is okay. Instead of fighting the rain, you learn to appreciate the water. You learn to dance in the storm. The walls you built to protect yourself are no longer needed, allowing you to connect freely with the world. Letting go is not losing. It is the ultimate act of gaining back your freedom and your life. The air at the summit of silence is thin and pure, clearing your lungs of the city's smog. Transformation happens not by adding more to the lake, but by stopping the stirring and letting it settle. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you cultivate with your own mind. Treat your mind with the same kindness and patience you would offer to a frightened child. As the sun sets on your old ways of thinking, a new dawn of awareness is ready to rise. True rest becomes possible because you are no longer fighting battles in your sleep. We move from a life dominated by data and logic to a life enriched by feeling and being. Like a tree, you need deep roots and silence to withstand the strong winds of modern society. Do not neglect this practice. Water your tree of silence every day, even when you feel too busy. Eventually, your peace will grow large enough to provide shade and comfort for those around you as well. You will still face challenges, but you will face them with a center of gravity that cannot be shaken. Practice the art of unclenched hands, unclenched jaw, and an unclenched mind throughout your day. Be like a bubble, reflecting the world clearly, but remaining light and unburdened by its weight. Time stops being your enemy and becomes a resource that you choose to spend with intention. Keep exploring the landscape of your inner world. There are wonders there waiting to be discovered. This is an investment in your future self, ensuring that you age with grace and inner tranquility. Balance is not a static state. It is a constant micro-adjustment that becomes easier with practice. Let the waves of silence wash over your mind each day, clearing the debris of yesterday. Feel the freedom that comes when you realize you are not your thoughts, but the observer of them. One single moment of pure awareness can change the entire trajectory of your day and your life. Be the candle that burns calmly in the darkness, providing light without consuming itself too quickly. Return to the analog pleasures of life, the things that require patience and offer deep satisfaction. Savor the small rituals like drinking tea as if they are the most important events of the day. The inner smile is a powerful tool. It relaxes your facial muscles and sends safety signals to your brain. Learn from nature and animals. They do not stress about tomorrow. They simply live in the now. Ground yourself in the physical reality of the present moment to escape the virtual reality of your mind. Remember how small your problems are in the grand scheme of the universe and find comfort in that. You are not separate from the universe. You are a part of it, flowing with its rhythm. You can live in the busy modern world without letting the busy world live inside of you. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting the flow of life to take you where needed. When you slow down, you notice the needs of others and become a force for good. Connection is the antidote to loneliness, but it starts with connecting to yourself first, in silence. Your scars and past struggles make you beautiful and unique, like gold filling the cracks of pottery. Creativity flows abundantly when the mind is not clogged with the debris of constant worry. Let the song of nature be the soundtrack of your life, replacing the noise of notifications. Your breath is the anchor. Whenever you feel the balls dropping, return to your breath. Set your sails to catch the winds of peace rather than rowing against the current of stress. Technology is a tool for you to use, not a master for you to serve blindly. Reclaim your evenings and weekends for real life, for the people and experiences that truly matter. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to the abundance that is already present. Let your worries drift away like seeds in the wind, trusting they will land where they must. You have the power to change your life, starting with just 20 minutes of silence today. Start your day with intention, not with reaction, and watch how the rest of the day unfolds. Keep your mind clear like this water, and you will see the world with truth and beauty. Be your own best friend, your own observer, and your own source of comfort and peace. The sun is always there behind the clouds. You just need to wait for the clouds to pass. Rise above the clouds of your mind and dwell in the clear blue sky of your consciousness. Open yourself to the peace that is trying to reach you, if only you would stop running. When you are still, the world comes to you, and you no longer have to chase it. Walk gently, breathe deeply, and remember that life is not a problem to be solved. Life is a mystery, to be lived, enjoyed, and experienced with the wonder of a child. Let your mind be as vast and open as these fields, capable of holding everything without breaking. The ocean of peace is always there, waiting for you to dip your toes in. You hold the key to your own prison cell. You can unlock the door whenever you choose. Step out of the shadows of your mind and into the light of the present moment. We are all in this together, learning to juggle, learning to drop the balls, and learning to breathe. Take a deep breath now and commit to giving yourself the gift of silence today. Tomorrow is a new opportunity to practice, to observe, and to be kind to yourself. Share this message with someone who is struggling with too many balls in the air. Find beauty in the simple things, for that is where true happiness has always been hiding. The sky is the limit when your mind is free from the weight of unnecessary burdens. May your practice bear fruit, bringing you the peace and clarity you so richly deserve. Thank you for joining us on this journey inward. Remember, peace is a choice you make. Choose silence, choose observation, and choose to stop the war within your own heart. This is Wisdom Tales Daily. Subscribe for more stories to heal your soul. Be well.